You walk into a room and the air changes even before you say a word. People don't know why they look up. They don't know why their posture shifts or why their voice is lower by a fraction, but you do. It's not the shirt, not the watch, not the scripted lines, and it's definitely not luck. It's presence, unshakable masculine presence, the kind that tells the world without explanation that you are a man who knows where he's going and who will carry himself there whether anyone approves or not. Most men chase tricks because they're terrified of being seen while still uncertain. You are going to do the opposite. You are going to let the room feel the weight of your certainty even when you're still deciding. If that idea moves something in you, if some part of you is done outsourcing your value to other people's reactions, stay with me until the end. We're just getting started. Presence starts before you open your mouth, but it doesn't start in your shoulders or your jaw. It starts in the quiet moment right before you cross the threshold, when you decide what energy you're willing to live in. You have a nervous system, and so does she. Attraction is the conversation between the two. Every twitch, every fidget, every rush to fill a silence is a nervous system begging to be soothed. When you're unshakable, you become the regulating force. You walk slowly enough for people to catch the rhythm of you. You breathe low and deep enough that anyone next to you unconsciously matches your pace. You make eye contact like an invitation, not a demand. You speak with a cadence that falls slightly below the room's speed. That's the first layer. Slow body, grounded breath, steady gaze. It is not a performance. It's how you claim the right to exist without proving anything. Now, here's a truth most men miss. Women don't fall for men who perform masculinity. They respond to men who embody direction. Direction is different from aggression. Direction says, I'm moving this way and I'd like you with me. Aggression says, move so I can get what I want. The feminine tests direction to see if it's real, not because she wants to break you, but because she wants to trust you. If you crack under a single raised eyebrow, your direction dies. So we begin with an inner contract. You will not abandon yourself when someone else has a feeling. Read that again. You will not abandon yourself when someone else has a feeling. From this contract flows posture, voice, and the power to say no without explaining it to death. Stand up wherever you are and feel your feet. Not metaphorically, actually feel them. Slight bend in the knees, weight centered, pelvis relaxed, sternum open but not flared, chin level, tongue resting on the roof of your mouth. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4, pause for 2, exhale for 6. Do that 5 times and notice what happens to your shoulders. Notice what happens to your thoughts. You've just taught your body who's in charge. That slow exhale is a signal to your entire system. We are safe. Safety is attractive because safety is rare. When she feels safer near you than away from you, she gravitates without trying, because her nervous system recognizes something her mind can't articulate. Let's talk eye contact, because that is the blade most men dull with either fear or aggression. Eye contact is not a stare down, it's a steady lighthouse. You meet her eyes for 1 heartbeat longer than feels comfortable, then you release first. That release is as important as the hold, because it signals that you're not trying to trap her. You can hold her attention without taking it hostage. Scan the face with a soft triangle, left eye, right eye, mouth, back to the eyes. Breathe while you do it. Let the corners of your mouth hint at warmth without tilting into approval seeking. The message is, I see you. I enjoy what I see, and I will be okay whether you come closer or not. If you feel that landing in your body now, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Presence is also in your voice. You don't need a theatrical baritone, you need a voice that lands. Most men speak like they're apologizing for taking space. You won't. You'll speak on the exhale, slower than you think is necessary. End your sentences as if you're setting down a weight, downward inflection, period. When you ask a question, put the curiosity in your eyes, but keep the spine of your voice. You're not fishing, you're directing the flow. Let silence do half the talking. Silence is where tension lives. If you can't tolerate silence, you will manufacture noise. Noise kills polarity. When you say something important, stop. Let the meaning breathe. Watch how the room leans in to fill the gap. You can't build unshakable presence on chaos at home. Your environment should reflect the order you claim internally. A man's room is a frame. Clear surfaces. One signature scent on your dresser that you wear consistently, so your presence has a memory. Clothes that fit, not just expensive, fit. Tailoring communicates self-respect before you speak. Clean shoes, clean nails, breath that smells like you respect whoever is close enough to smell it. These are not vanity details. They are signals of your relationship to yourself. Women register these signals effortlessly. They won't always name them, but they feel them. Purpose matters, but not the way Instagram motivational posters preach it. You don't need a heroic mission to be attractive. You need to be in motion towards something you value. I'm mastering my craft. I'm building a body I trust. I'm learning a language so I can travel. Choose, commit, and organize your days accordingly. The irony is that when your calendar respects your mission, your presence becomes lighter, not heavier. You stop gripping conversations like a drowning man because you have somewhere to be, even if this interaction goes nowhere. That is attractive. A man who is fully present and fully unafraid to walk away. Let's step into live dynamics. You enter a venue. Before you scan for beauty, you calibrate the room. Where's the light? How loud is the music? Who is holding social gravity here? The staff, the regulars, the group celebrating in the corner. You greet the host like a real human being. You thank the bartender by name. You take a breath and stand in a place that gives you sightlines rather than hiding in a corner. Presence moves first, conversation follows. If you catch a woman's eye, you don't lunge with your words. You hold the moment with a slight smile, then you break first, then you re-engage later with relaxed certainty as if the first look was already a hello. When you approach, you do not lead with opinion about her body. You lead with grounded observation and a simple invitation. You have the look of someone who knows exactly what to order. What's your move here? Then you shut up and let her speak. This is not a line, it's a frame. You are interested and curious without giving away your center. Calibrate in real time. Is she leaning in? Are her pupils dilated in this light? Does her voice pitch up and her gestures get a little looser? If she locks her body away from you, if her answers turn clipped or she scans the room, you adjust. Presence is not pushing through, it's noticing and leading from clarity. If she tests, do you talk to all the girls like this? You don't flinch. You smile as if you've already heard it. Because you have. Only the ones who make time stand still for a second. Then you immediately ask something simple that redirects focus to the shared moment. Tests aren't traps, they're invitations to be congruent. You must understand the 4 levers most women respond to: safety, challenge, novelty, and competence. Safety means her nervous system relaxes around you. Challenge means you will not contort your standards to win favor. Novelty means you introduce her to edges of herself, new places, flavors, ideas, or experiences. Competence means you can do things. Order well, dance a little, fix small problems without theatrics, navigate logistics smoothly. If you consistently pull those 4 levers without forcing them, attraction compounds. Boundaries are where presence hardens into respect. Without boundaries, charm turns to syrup. A simple boundary. You do not explain your no more than once. No, I'm not staying out all night. I have training at 7. Period. Another boundary. You don't text all day. You set times when you respond and you keep your word to yourself. When you say you'll call, you call, and you keep it brief unless it's moving something forward. Presence isn't a needy drip of attention, it's a clean, deliberate flow. If she fades out, you don't chase the fade. You give it space once. If there's no reciprocity, you step back with grace, not punishment. That dignity is rare. If this is challenging a habit in you right now, tell me which one. Men who admit where they slip get sharper fast. Women often speak in indirect signals because the feminine communicates in texture more than structure. You are going to become bilingual. You'll hear what is said and what is meant. When she says, "We'll see," she might be testing your certainty. When she says, "I'm not sure," she might need you to paint the picture more vividly. When her body says closer while her words say maybe, you slow down and lead with sensitivity. Ask, "I'm tempted to pull you in. Does that feel good to you?" That sentence alone can change everything because it merges direction with attunement. Consent can be attractive when delivered with command and warmth. Let's talk about play. Play is not clowning. Play is the art of moving from surface to spark. Most men try to impress. You will create frames where you both can play. 2 truths and a lie is a tired cliche because it's lazy. Try this instead. Tell me the most interesting thing you've discovered about yourself this year, and one tiny thing you've been too shy to admit. Or, pick one: ocean at night, a kitchen at 2 a.m., or a bookstore on a rainy afternoon, and tell me why. These prompts bypass small talk and reveal texture, then mirror and escalate. If she picks the kitchen at 2 a.m., you might say, "So you love intimacy without an audience." Noted. She will feel seen, and when a woman feels seen without being judged, she leans in. Your hands communicate as much as your words. Keep them still unless you mean something. When you gesture, finish the gesture and let your hand rest again. Don't fidget with your glass. Don't reach for your face. Touch, when it happens, is measured. Start with the environment. Brushing a speck of dust off a sleeve after asking permission with your eyes. Guide her through a doorway with a light hand on the mid-back. A classic, not a cliché, because it's practical and protective. If she moves into your space, you accept it, then you test by stepping half a step back and seeing if she follows. That is the dance of tension. Offer, retreat, invite. Never yank, never cling. In groups, presence is leadership without the need for spotlight. Include other people. If there's a quieter friend, pull her in. "I haven't heard your take yet. Where do you stand on this?" Women notice how you treat the room because it predicts how you'll treat them when attention shifts. If another man tries to perform dominance at your expense, don't compete. Contain. "I hear you." Then you pivot the energy back to the group or the woman you were speaking with. Presence isn't about winning every exchange, it's about never losing yourself in one. Your text game becomes very simple with presence. You don't send good morning blasts to dozens of women hoping for dopamine. You send deliberate messages that move things forward. Wednesday 8 out. "I know a place that does the best lamb I've had in the city. If you're free, I'll meet you at the door." When she agrees, you confirm the day of with calm certainty. You arrive a little early and claim a table where you can both see the room, because safety and sightlines matter. You order with confidence, you ask for what you want, and you tip well. When the food arrives, you slow everything down again. First bite, first look, first silence. Let her watch you savor. Embodied enjoyment is invitation. During conversation, you'll stack depth with levity. A simple arc, light observation, playful tease, genuine curiosity, 2 layers deeper, then back to light. Example: you fold your napkin like an engineer. Smile. "What's the most precise thing you did this week?" Listen. She answers. "What did that precision solve for you?" Another question. "And when you're not saving the world, where do you let yourself be messy?" That's light to deep to light again. You can live in that rhythm for hours without exhausting either of you. Now, a word about standards. If you want unshakable presence, you cannot outsource them. Write them down. 30 minutes of movement daily. 8 hours of sleep most nights. No phone in bed. 2 nights a week devoted to your craft. 1 night reserved for pure novelty. Places you haven't been. People you don't know yet. Cuisines you haven't tasted. A man who curates his own life doesn't ask a woman to entertain him. He invites her into a world already alive. Women feel the difference instantly. Let me address insecurity. Everyone has it. Presence is not the absence of insecurity. It's the decision not to worship it. When your mind spirals, is she bored? Am I enough? Should I say more? You bring your attention back to your body. Feet. Breath. Jaw unclenched. Shoulders released. The fastest way out of your head is down into your posture. Then you choose a behavior that aligns with who you are instead of how you feel. You can be nervous and still lead. You can be uncertain and still move. You can be attracted and still maintain standards. That is masculine. Emotion in motion, directed. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end, because we're only now reaching the pressure points that change your trajectory. One pressure point is decisiveness. Indecision exhausts attraction. She wants to feel you pick a lane. That doesn't mean you steamroll preferences. It means you present options and decide. "Do you want wine or a cocktail?" She says, "I can't choose." You say, "I'll start you with a mezcal you'll remember, and you can steal my wine if you want." Decision offered, play included, freedom preserved. Another pressure point, repair. You will misread signals sometimes. Maybe you tried to kiss, and she turned her head. Maybe a joke fell flat. Maybe you stayed in one topic too long. Repair quickly and cleanly. "I jumped ahead. That's on me. Let's slow down. Or, that joke didn't land. I'll retire it with honor. Smile. You remove the tension by naming it without shame. That shows emotional range, powerful and safe. Let's explore challenge more deeply. Challenge is not withholding affection to control someone. That's insecurity in a leather jacket. Real challenge is being a man whose standards pull the best out of people. If she speaks cynically about herself, you don't co-sign. I won't let you talk about yourself like that around me. Calm. If she flirts by tearing down other women, you redirect. I prefer we rise without comparison. Tell me what you admire about her style. Your presence becomes a boundary that shapes the interaction. She will either step into that frame or step out of your life. Both outcomes serve you. Your body is your instrument. Train it. Not to impress, but to trust yourself. Strength makes your nervous system quieter. Mobility makes your movements more fluid. Conditioning gives you endurance for late nights and early mornings. Choose a training discipline that teaches contact. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Something that honors pressure. Pressure clarifies character. It teaches you to breathe under a storm, to make decisions with adrenaline in your mouth. That ability transfers directly to attractive presence. Calm under scrutiny, fluid under heat. Scent is memory. Choose one you love that reads as clean, warm, and unmistakably yours. 2 sprays on pulse points, 1 on the back of the neck so that when you hug, she catches it. Over time, your presence becomes a place her body remembers. She will smell a similar note on a stranger and think of you without knowing why. That is how subtlety wins. On dates, reward investment with presence. If she reveals something vulnerable, stop multitasking in your head. Look at her full face. Let the words land. Then respond from the energy of what it means, not just what it says. So you like control because it kept you safe. I get that. With me, you can relax. Delivered not as a promise you can't keep, but as a frame you intend to uphold with your behavior. Then do it. Slow your pace, match her, guide her comfort. Sexual tension without words is the result of honest desire plus restraint. You let your eyes communicate appetite while your hands communicate patience. You lean in enough for her to feel your warmth. Then you hold position and let her close the distance if she chooses. Your compliments are specific and rare. The way you pause before you answer, that's very attractive. That tells her you see her nervous system, not just her features. If she mirrors your lean, if her breath changes, if she plays with her hair or her jewelry while holding your gaze, you may step closer, lower your voice, and ask, "I want to kiss you." If she says yes, you still go slow. If she says not yet, you smile, "I can wait," and actually do. The wait grows the charge. Need kills it. Appetite fed with restraint multiplies it. Now let's address something that destroys men quietly. Overexposure. You reveal strategically. Share what matters without unloading your history into her lap like a suitcase you hope she'll carry. A little mystery is not manipulation, it's pacing. When she asks, "Are you seeing anyone?" and you are, you don't hide it, but you also don't perform guilt. "I'm meeting people. I'm not in a committed relationship." Clear, honest, relaxed. When you're ready to focus exclusively, say it as a gift, not a bargain. "I'm choosing you, and I'm closing my other loops." That's presence mature enough to commit. Let's talk about endings, because endings reveal more about your presence than beginnings. If the night went well, end it on a high. Don't linger until energy decays. You stand, you hold her eyes, you say, "I love this." Thursday, I'm taking you to a place that will ruin you for ordinary pasta. Smile. Then you go. Don't text from the car. Let the experience echo. If it didn't go well, be gracious and clear. "I enjoyed meeting you. I don't feel the fit I'm looking for. Wishing you the best." That message will make you rarer than diamonds, because it's honest and kind. There will be times when a woman tries to pull you into a drama, not from malice, but because intensity feels like connection. You will not become the fire extinguisher for someone's unsolved patterns. Your presence is not a service, it's a standard. You can say, "I don't engage in conversations at this tone. When you want to talk, I'm here." Then you go to the gym, finish your project, take a cold shower, call a friend, and return to her when the energy is right or not at all. You train your nervous system to choose peace over chaos even when chaos is seductive. Your inner rituals will harden your presence in a way no trick can. Every morning, 3 minutes of stillness. Sit up straight. Breathe down into your belly. Feel your spine lengthen. Ask yourself 3 questions. What kind of man am I choosing to be today? What will I lead? What will I refuse? At night, audit it. Where did I lead well? Where did I abandon myself? What do I do differently tomorrow? This is not journaling to feel productive. It's how you build a track record with yourself. A man who trusts his own word emits a frequency that no cologne can fake. You will cultivate solitude. Once a week, leave your phone and take a walk without music. Notice how you reach for stimulation when silence exposes your thoughts. Stay with yourself. Most men run from that encounter their whole lives. Not you. You will befriend your own company until your presence nourishes you. Then you'll bring that nourished presence to others, and they'll feel the difference between hunger and offering. If this is hitting something inside you, if you recognize the man you could be in these words, drop your thoughts below. Tell me the one habit you'll install this week to cut through the noise. I read every single one, and if you know a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Let's close the loop with a simple field protocol you can use tonight. When you step into any social space, you give yourself 90 seconds to calibrate the room before approaching anyone. You orient your body, you slow your breath, you make brief, friendly eye contact with staff. You create one tiny positive ripple with a stranger. That leather jacket tells a story. And then you approach the woman you sensed resonance with. You stand at a slight angle, not squared off like a debate, and you open with a grounded observation that places you in the moment. You know how some places make you forget time. This one's doing that to me. See if she joins the moment. If she does, you stack play, curiosity, depth, and lightness. If she doesn't, you bless it and gently exit. Strong men don't cling to no's. They move until they find their yes. If you're already dating someone, presence will transform the dynamic you're in. You'll create rituals, Sunday morning coffee at the same street corner stand, a midweek dinner where you both put your phones away, a monthly micro-adventure neither of you has tried. You'll lead without permission slips. Pack a sweater, I'm stealing you Wednesday at 7. You'll uphold your boundaries with grace. I don't raise my voice and I don't stay in rooms where people are raising theirs. I'm going to walk and we'll revisit when the tone is right. You'll be the man who can listen without becoming a therapist, who can guide without becoming a tyrant, who can desire without demanding. That is unshakable. And when heartbreak comes, as it sometimes will, you won't bargain your dignity for proximity to what's leaving. You'll feel it fully and you'll keep your rituals anyway. You'll train, you'll sleep, you'll eat clean, you'll get sunlight, you'll tell the truth to the men who've earned the right to hear it, and you'll refuse to let pain turn you small. The way you end is a signal to the next beginning. Walk away well, and the door you close becomes the ground you stand on. Here is the final frame I want burning in you when this ends. Presence is not a trick to get women. Presence is the electricity that runs through a life led on purpose. Women feel it because it's real. The room feels it because it's rare. Your job is to make your life heavier than your fears and lighter than your ego. Heavy with responsibility, light with humor. Heavy with standards, light with attachment. Heavy with truth, light with performance. Do this, and you become the man who slows time without moving, who can smile into tension without collapsing, who can hold a gaze and a boundary with equal ease. So take this with you. Before your next conversation, breathe low and slow until your chest unlocks. Enter spaces like you belong, not because you're better, but because you're whole. Speak less and mean more. Ask cleaner questions. Offer presence as a gift, not a bribe. Build a body that you trust and a calendar that keeps you honest. Lead with direction and attunement. And remember, you are allowed to want and you are allowed to wait. Both are masculine. If what you heard today sharpened you, subscribe and stay close. This is the work that turns uncertainty into gravity. Tell me in the comments which part you're practicing first. I want to know where you're stepping next. And if you have a friend who keeps losing himself to win attention, send this to him right now. Iron sharpens iron. You came here for tactics. What you got was a spine. Now take it into the world and let the world adjust.